The Champions League is back. We now know the groups and, of course, the clubs that make up the groups for this year's competition. In this video, we're going to predict my early door outcomes, my predictions for Group G. Just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button. Back to all things Champions League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Over the next few days, of course, we're going to preview each and every one of the groups in all the European competitions. And of course, in this video, we're going to take a look at the Champions League. That's right. We're going to predict who I think will make it through as group winners and who will join them as runners-up. We'll get into it. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's take a look at, of course, the final group over this year's Champions League. It is Group H. That's right. So let's get in the deep end and have a look at the clubs. Here they come in all their glory. Barcelona, that's right, champions of Spain this time around. Up against Porto, of course, coming at you from Portugal. We have Shakhtar Donetsk coming out of Ukraine, and we have Antwerp as well. And a quick look at these clubs, you'd already probably nail on those top two to come through as group winners. But we'll see. We'll see about that. Of course, we're going to break down these numbers from these games. And of course, these are my gut predictions. We're going to do match day by match day predictions, so make sure you smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up as well. So here we go, looking at these games starting on the 19th of September all the way through to the 30th of December. We're going to go with Barcelona up against Antwerp. Again, not playing at the Camp Nou this year. Some construction work going on over there, so they're playing in like the reserves, which still holds, I think, 30,000. So it's a good stadium anyway, regardless. But wherever they play, Barcelona should beat Antwerp on this one, coming at you from the Juniper League out in Belgium. 3-0 win for Barcelona. No problems on that one. Then, of course, Shakhtar Donetsk will host Porto, who I think are a downside bet here for not only this group, but of course maybe the tournament as a whole. So keep an eye on Porto. 1-1 draw here. Difficult place to go. Ukraine. Is it in Ukraine? I don't even know. Let me know down below whether the games will go on in Ukraine or not. Interesting to find out. Meanwhile, Antwerp against Shakhtar Donetsk over in Belgium, of course. A 1-0 win for Shakhtar as well. Shakhtar are a difficult side. They're one of the clubs in this Champions League, the whole thing, you just don't want to get because they're kind of awkward. You can lose to them, you can tonk them. You just don't know what you're going to get. Meanwhile, Antwerp are pretty much an easy team for some of these juggernauts, your Portos, your Barcelonas, things like that. So it is unusual. Shakhtar Donetsk is an unusual one. Again, starting off unbeaten so far, pick up a draw against Porto and a win over Royal Antwerp. Meanwhile, speaking of Porto, they will beat Barcelona in Portugal. Of course, hold me to it. Quote me on it. Clip it if you want. 3-1 win. Porto in the driving seat right here, right now. Top of the pops with 4 points. Alongside Shakhtar Donetsk, I would say. Barcelona in the mud a little bit. But don't worry, they should be all right from this group. Barcelona will then host Shakhtar Donetsk in Spain. 2-0 win. Of course, they're moving back in the right direction as they enter the halfway stage. Barcelona back on track. Shakhtar Donetsk doing A-OK. And of course, Porto getting a big 2-0 win over in Belgium, over Antwerp, to really put themselves in command for Group H. And of course, as we break into the halfway point, you would see, of course, Porto just the one drop point there. Of course, a draw against Shakhtar Donetsk, but winning against Barcelona and Antwerp put them in command. So let's go into the next half of the draw here as we go. The reverse fixtures, Shakhtar Donetsk taking on Barcelona on the November the 7th. It'll be a draw. Again, Shakhtar Donetsk proving sticky wickets, proving difficult to beat at home against the big boys, not necessarily losing or winning, but getting something out of it. And again, I think if we look at those games, the Shakhtar Donetsk against Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk against Barcelona, I'd lean towards more to the fact that Shakhtar Donetsk might win this one. I don't think they'll lose their home games against Porto or Barcelona. I think they will either win them or draw them. But I'm going to go with a draw here. I just think Barcelona they'll have to see this. If they want to win this group, they have to get something out of that Shakhtar Donetsk game, just like Porto did in the earlier fixture. Meanwhile, speaking of Porto, they will take on Antwerp. They'll comfortably beat them as well. 3-0 win, and Antwerp taking the L on that one. Looking already out as we enter match number 5 on the 28th of November. Of course, it's looking a difficult one here as well. Shakhtar will beat Antwerp as well, who, of course, looking at it, they actually got a goal. No goals so far, entering the final day for Antwerp, looking not so good. Shakhtar Donetsk still in the mixer. And, of course, taking on Porto away, it looks like a difficult one for them. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. And, of course, the winner of this one, Barcelona-Porto, could decide the fate of Shakhtar Donetsk here and now. I'm going to go with a draw here once again, with Porto looking pretty solid, both home and away. Of course, at home, 100% so far. On the road, also unbeaten as well. Just a couple of draws, Barcelona and Shakhtar heading into a final game against Donetsk, where you would imagine they would win that game. And of course, Barcelona going to Antwerp, which will be difficult, but of course winnable as well. So looking good for Porto, looking good for Barcelona heading into it. I don't know, I've not got the numbers in front of me, but we'll see right here, right now. On the 30th of December, it's the final match, match number 6. We're going to say goodbye to Antwerp. Surely that's not good enough for the Europa League. They're out. See you later, possibly next year. We'll see about that. Barcelona 3-0 win. Look good for at least that second spot. Porto, 3-1 win over Shakhtar Donetsk. And again, it looks good for Porto. They look good, too good for this group. And of course, better than Barcelona, I think, preparation-wise. And of course, from my assumption, quick calculation, it looks like Shakhtar Donetsk get third. But we'll get to that in a second. Of course, Barcelona are favoured here, 7-2 on to win this group with Porto 10-3. Again, I think I'm going with Porto here. And Shakhtar Donetsk also, Porto, 10-3. We've got Shakhtar Donetsk 14-1, and then we've got Antwerp 25-1. Long shots. Don't even bother with it. But sometimes, somewhere along the lines, there are some banana skins and some surprises. Look at Sheriff the other week. But this one, I think this is the worst performance so far in any group. And it's Antwerp, nothing. Got 0 points, 0 goals, 14 conceded. Tumbling out of this, of course. And then Shakhtar Donetsk in third spot, 8 points on the board. Not a bad record, but not good enough as well. Barcelona in second in my eyes, 11 points on the board. Just 1 defeat. But of course, Porto topped the chops here with 14 points. A couple of draws in the mixer, but no defeats. Looking good. Of course, a team to avoid in the knockout stages. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Do you agree or do you disagree with my predictions for the Champions League group? Of course, let me know down below. And, of course, make sure you stick around for the channel, your one-stop shop for Champions League. Make sure you smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We're going to be there each and every match day, of course, predicting them with our own interactive prediction league. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but, of course, there are many, many options out there, so we'll take a look at them. And, of course, I want you to be part of it. They're going to be free, so don't worry about it. We'll figure it out one way or another. But, of course, make sure you let me know down below who you think will come through this group right here, right now. But until then, subscribe, thumbs up, and of course, I'll catch you later for the actual match days. Until then, we're done.